The title of this unique film is A Time for Burning, and its impact has been so great that what we're going to do today is show you a bit of the film, and then report on how and why it was made and on its impact in this country and on its implications for church members and for everybody else. The man who made it is seated next to me, the co-director with Barbara Cannell, William C. Jersey, an independent film producer. Also here to join in the discussion is Robert E.A. Lee of Lutheran Film Associates, who commissioned the film, and Mr. Lee is its executive producer.
When we came to build Jersey, we had already spent about
I had done shows for NBC, and a couple of them got some rather good notices. And so Bob saw them or got them, and he called me up and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a film on the church's response to racial tension. And being fussy about the use of words, I said, response? He said, yes, response. I said to myself, well, we'll see one day what the church's response is and whether you think that that's really what you want. But I said I would do it. I said, but you need to know something else. I don't do scripts. And he looked at me and said, well, how are we going to know what we're going to get? And I said, you don't. Now, I did go on to say that I don't merely just take my camera, go out and wander around and hope something will happen in front of the camera. It's considerably more complicated than that. But I did not want to do a film in the South because that made it very easy for Northerners to point their finger and feel less guilty or not guilty at all, perhaps. I wanted to do an American story. And when I heard that there was this minister in Omaha, Nebraska, at Augustana Lutheran Church, who had had an integrated church in Orange, New Jersey, I believe, and who had been active in civil rights, I thought, all-white congregation, Midwest, one would suspect reasonably conservative, elects to call a quite liberal man to their pulpit. I suspect there could be a little tension there. And while we don't want to show failure, we want to show struggle. Otherwise, we don't have a film. So he said, well, what do you think can happen? And I said, well, you could end up like this with a satirical Jesus imitation.
The name Youngdahl in the Lutheran Church is a big name. So we're going to get a Youngdahl here, and that was a gem. It was like getting a Kennedy, because this would be a chance to show off our choir and our great smorgasbords, and we got a good thing going here.
First thing you do, you find out where there is subterranean conflicts that have not yet emerged, but that you know will inevitably emerge. I didn't know it was going to go that far. Certainly didn't know it was going to go that fast. I believe that I am not there simply to be an uninvolved observer. I believe in being a participant observer. And I said, what is the church doing? He said, well, you know, we're not doing much. We're trying to move. He was only there, 1 year. And I said, well, we were very happy in our community in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, in having small groups from churches. I said, what about having a interracial visit between churches? And now you could say, well, no, wait a minute. Didn't it occur for you for a moment that might cause some tension? Maybe it did, but it also occurred to me that I was not in any way setting it up so he couldn't say yes, couldn't say no. So he could have said no, but he submitted it, and with great enthusiasm on the part of Ray, who said, instead of doing that, couldn't we just take old ladies to bridge clubs? I thought that was a good suggestion, Ray. I don't know why they didn't pick up on that. But it was very much my idea, but it was very much one that I felt would be true to who he was and relevant to the... I think a filmmaker who thinks his role is simply to sit back and watch the action doesn't tell the truth. Because the truth doesn't always bubble up to the surface like an artesian well. The truth sometimes has to be grappled with, sometimes has to be pushed and shoved and pulled. And I think that's my job.